Hello friends, 706 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. We will see the ground situation. In the southern war zone on Kherson front, fight for Krinky continues while usage of UAV and artillery from Ukrainian side as well as from the Russian sides have increased quite a lot, while Russians are increasingly using FAB's bombs. On Zaporozhye front, in Urikho sector, counter battle continues in Robotin and Verbov direction. There are many swing that continues for small posts between the two army. Towards Remivki salient, Russian army attacked Staromayorsky but no changes towards Priyutne as well. In north, situation is very difficult for the Ukrainian army near Tabavka and in Swatovo sector. From Tabavka, the Russian army offensive operations towards Berestove was successful. The latest report is not very clear, though it seems that they have entered inside this village and probably have taken over the majority part of it. In Liman sector, Russian army advanced towards Yampolovka and also continuing its offensive operations towards Terny direction. Similar situation towards Kreminna, but no major changes here. In east, north of Soledar, Russian army offensive operations towards Belgorivka from southeast as well as from northeast, but no success. Bakhmut, Russian army offensive operation continues towards Bohdanivka, Krasnoye in northern flank. In Bohdanivka, it gained approximately 200 meters. Towards Ivanivsky, that is Krasnoye, Ukrainian channels claim that Ukrainian forces carried out counterattacks and pushed Russian army almost 500 meters away from it, though there is no confirmation of it yet. In southern flank towards Klishivka, battle is on, no changes. On Avdiivka front, here too situation for the Ukrainian troops is difficult, especially in the southern direction, though it is continuing counterattacks in Zarskaya Okota with reserves. In the east of it, battle continues towards coke plant, and in north, Russians made some gains towards Stepoe and Tomenkoe. Towards Pervomaisky and Pobeda, minimal gains. Marinka front, west of it, Russian offensive operation is on towards Zorzievka, no gains. In south towards Novomikhailovka, they advanced almost 200 meters in northern side, and also in north of Marinka offensive operations towards Krasnogorovka continues, no gains. Ukrainian military continuing its interdiction missions. They have shelled Kursk, Belgorod, DPR and other regions. ISW says Russian army advanced near Kreminna Avdiivka and in Donetsk-Zaporozhye Oblast border. On Palestine Israel Middle East, situation in Gaza Strip continues as on yesterday, but for the fact that Hamas fighters have retaken positions vacated by IDF. There is report that Israel, US, Egypt and Qatar have agreed for a new deal for release of hostages in Gaza, and this talk was in Paris. US has blamed Iran for its soldiers' death, while Iran refuted these allegations. It must be remembered, Iran's 310,000 troops, largest in Middle East and 7th largest in the world, plus IRGC and other law enforcement forces, are huge deterrent for American intervention. In the meantime, Houthis missile hit US warship in Gulf of Aden, though the damage is not known yet. Huge farmers' protests are continuing in France, Germany to Lithuania. They are demanding adequate relief from fuel price rise. Can European Union ensure this? Reduce cheap food imports from Ukraine. Can they assure this? Agriculture policy must not be hostile to the farmers, and lastly the bureaucracy, especially in France and rest of European Union, which is extremely painful. There are rumors that Zaluzny, the Ukrainian army commander-in-chief, has resigned or sidelined, but Ukraine has denied it officially. Must hear what ex-president of Czech Republic has to say. He says, we must not forget historical context of war in Ukraine. This war began on 4th April 2008. On that day, at NATO summit in Bucharest, a decision was made to admit Ukraine and Georgia to NATO. Mr. Claus further says, what happened was a tragic mistake. According to him, this decision was proposed by US and UK, contrary to position of majority of the participating countries, and especially Germany and France. And now we are into a war, deep into it, which is threatening to escalate Third World War, which could even lead to nuclear warfare. Russian presidential election will take place between 15 to 17 March, where Putin too is a candidate. And from USA, George Soros gave $3 million to Democratic Party candidate in Texas. Let us see how these two countries are shaping the future of the world. Well, that brings an end to my talk today. See you tomorrow. Thanks.